I'm from the West. But we have a bigger problem in our hands. Poverty is the bigger problem. Nobody's talking about it. And we're talking about ethnicity, we're talking about religion, and our people are poor. Ethnicity and religion has not taken poverty out of our land. Are people not poor in the Gala land? Are people not poor in the central? Are people not poor in the west? All over the state. There's no community you get to today in Kogi State that you don't see people that are poor. A lot of graduates doing nothing. And everybody seems to be comfortable with that. It's like a case of a people in a pit. Instead of finding a way out, they will keep digging the pit further down.
TV. Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from. This is Ura TV. My name is Sunday Atabo. You are watching Kogi Politics. Yes, expectation is high because November 11th is a destination for Kogites where they will queue up to select the new leader. The tenor of the governor, the present governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yaya Adoza Bello, is winding down gradually. November 11th, people go to the poll and then we'll have a new governor. January 27th, I'm very sure, it's optimistic and it's guaranteed that His Excellency Alhaji Yaya Adoza Bello will be leaving his seat, will be leaving Lugard House. Then there's a question that is in the airwave. Who will be the next governor of Kogi State? We have many contestants from different political parties vying to become the governor of Kogi State. This is Kogi Politics. I have a special guest in the studio today. He is the candidate of AA. He will be here in the studio with me, and here we'll talk. When I return, you'll meet with him. I'll be right back. TV. You're welcome to the studio. So please, I will plead that you avail my viewers' opportunity into your profile to meet you proper. Who do we have in the studio today?
All right. I am Olayinka Adeneho Brimo. I'm from Akutukwa-Kiri in Bonu, that is Kababonu local government of Kogi State. Bona fide sort of the soil. I grew up in Kaba, in Kogi State, in primary school, Titcom College, where 6278, that's the code. Those that attended Titcom College knows that when I say 6278. Yeah, and then background in electrical electronics, and then I have an MBA.
You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about your journey into politics. Is it your first time?
Yeah, this is my first time of contesting election. Yes, or this is the first time of coming out into politics, as a matter of fact.
Okay, tell me, how much do you know Kogi State?
Okay, why?
And why you are going into politics?
All right, okay. I'm in it for an assignment. I have an assignment, and that's why I'm in politics. Just one assignment.
Okay.
You know, they just wake up to say, oh, I just want to be a governor, I want to be governor, I want to just contest the election. No. It is because I felt a burden. The burden of our people. In the midst of plenty, living in abject poverty. And I have an assignment to be able to create wealth and distribute wealth for our people. That's the reason why I am contesting this election.
How much do you know Kogi State?
I'll tell you. Our people are poor. Largely poor. Extremely poor. And we have a land area of 29,833 square kilometers. Bigger than the entire southeast of Nigeria put together. Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi, Abia, and Imo states. Our land area is bigger than all of those states put together.
So I can go and verify.
You can Google it. Feel free to fact check me. Okay? Now, that's our land area. We are the 13th largest in Nigeria in terms of land area. Now, if you have the land and you're poor, it means you don't understand how to convert your land assets to wealth. And that's what we're talking about, wealth creation. We will convert our land asset to wealth. I've been into real estate for more than 15 years. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm telling you about conversion of land asset to wealth. That is Kogi State. Our people are poor. Why? Because if you look at the trend of the leadership in the state, starting from late Prince Abubakar Audu, when he was governor, people complained. When Governor Idris came in, people complained. And they said, wow, Governor Abubakar Audu was better. Right? Then Governor Wada came. People still complained. And they said, wow, Governor Idris was better. Then we moved on to Governor Yahya Bello. And people are complaining. And they're saying, oh, Governor Wada was better. The question is this: are we moving forward as a state? Is that a sign of progress? Isn't it that something must be fundamentally wrong, either with the leadership or the followership? Our people are poor. I mean, the poverty index, it's been on the increase. It's not reducing in our state. And I'll tell you what, our budget, merely looking at our budget, 172 billion naira, that's the budget of Kogi State for this year, 2023. 58% of that budget is recurrent expenditure, 42% capital projects. From that 42%, 7.5% of that money will still go back to the federal government as VAT. So how much is really left? To be able to cater for infrastructure on 29,833 square kilometers of about 4.4 million people. Mind you, Kogi State, our land area, is bigger than Rwanda. Rwanda is 26,338 square kilometers with about 12.6 million people. Yet our people are poor.
So, the emphasis is our people are poor.
Yes, because I am on an assignment for wealth creation. Now, and I will tell you, what I would do differently is not to depend on federal allocation. Because when people are poor, there's a reason why people are poor. They're poor because we don't have enough money in circulation. That's what I was talking about our budget. 172 billion naira budget cannot create wealth for our people. We don't have enough money in circulation. So for us to be able to have enough money in circulation, it means we have to drive in cash flow into our economy. Because federal allocation alone cannot make our people rich. Cannot take out poverty from our state. We must drive in cash flow into our economy. How do we drive in cash flow? For you to drive in cash flow, you must exchange product or service for money to come in, isn't it? So what do we have from where we are today? We have developed the START agenda, STAT.
Okay.
Products, solid minerals. That I've been in that industry for about 10 years, so I understand prospecting, licensing, exploration, and exploitation of solid minerals.
Okay, before you go into that, I believe you know much about the exclusive list of federal governments.
I'm going to,
because emphasis, people always mention Kogi mineral resources.
No,
they may not even know that mineral resources are under exclusive list of federal government.
I'm coming there. Now, by virtue of Land Use Act, we have the land, right? Everything underneath belongs to the federal government.
Not your state.
Not state. I'm trying to establish that. Because if we are ignorant of that and tend to think, oh, we have mineral resources, yet our people are poor, we don't own it. It belongs to the federal government. But federal government has not stopped any interested party, corporate organizations, or other sub-governments that are interested. That's why I talked about prospecting, licensing, exploration, and exploitation. There's the licensing aspect of it. And I was going to talk about, which I'm talking about the legal framework, understanding the legal framework for strategic partnership to be able to mine products that you can take out for money to come in. So it has to be, we must understand the legal framework. But if you don't understand it, you sit down and others that are not from our state will get a license, come into the state, make the money, but the money does not remain within our economy. That's solid minerals. Number 2 is trade. By virtue of our geographical location, we are the gateway between the north and the south. People from the south pass through Kogi State to go to the north, to go to markets in the north. And people from the north pass through the state to go to Aba, go to Onitsha, go to Lagos markets. All of them pass through our state. Our state, what do? We are there like the Statue of Liberty and watching money going up and down. And our people are poor. So what we intend to do is to turn Kogi to a trade hub. Bring the market, Aba, bring the Onitsha, bring the Lagos, bring the Kano market, the Zamfara, Sokoto, all of these things that people go to the north to buy. You have them in Kogi. What they're going to the south to buy, you have them in Kogi. And we turn our state to a trade hub. That's 2, to drive in cash flow into our economy. Number 3, agriculture. We intend regenerative agriculture. With 1 hectare of land, you will take a household out of poverty in 24 to 36 months.
How do you attempt? Do you think it's visible? You know, it's possible. You have paper.
I'm going to run it down by you. I'm just hold on. Don't be in a hurry. Right? Regenerative agriculture. It's a mixed cropping system. You don't need any chemical. You don't need any fertilizer. It's just closing in on the knowledge gap. So we intend to train 100,000 farmers across the state. Give them 1 hectare each with C of O. Because when you issue C of O, what you're doing is that you are creating an instrument for funding to drive in cash flow. Because when people have their C of O, that's land administration, effective land administration. So we create farm estates. Give each household C of O 1 hectare. With regenerative agriculture, the mixed cropping system allows them to be able to harvest every month. As against the current practice, when you go, you farm sesame seed once in a year, then you go on a break, wait till next year, or you go, you farm maize, after harvest, you go on a break. Now you'll be able to set up your 1 hectare farm, the mixed cropping system, and you'll be able to run it once you start harvesting. It's planned out in a way that every month you are harvesting about 37 tons of food production on 1 hectare every year. And 6 members of the household will be gainfully employed on the farm. So with 100,000 hectares, 1 hectare each to the farmer, with 6 jobs opportunity at the local level. And we'll be able to take them out. They'll be out of poverty for life in 24 to 36 months. That's on the first phase of agriculture. Second phase, for the large commercial farmers, still effective land administration. If I give you 100 hectares to put monies in your pocket, if I give you 100 hectares to farm, to produce Benny seeds, sesame seeds, okay, the yield in Nigeria is of 0.78 metric tons per hectare. And our total production in Nigeria is about 460,000 metric tons annually. Now, the largest exporter of sesame seed in the world is Sudan, with a yield of 0.29 tons per hectare. Yet, we have an advantage because we have a higher yield per hectare. But we have a whole lot of fallow, arable lands that we're not cultivating. It means the market exists that we are not servicing. So trade and investment secures the market. So I give you C of O for 100 hectare, and I go ahead to give you a purchase guarantee. When I give you C of O, instrument for funding, I give you a purchase guarantee. What have I done? Have I not closed end to end of the transaction? Then you get funding. You do the production. I buy off you. I've created the market channels for you by giving you offtake guarantee. End-to-end transaction is closed. That way, have I not been able to put monies in your pocket without government contracts? Now, that is what we intend to do in terms of agriculture. Effective land administration and be able to create the market channels for our people. Putting monies in our people's pocket. Because we must change the paradigm of the way we farm. The last one, tourism, STAT. Tourism, with tourism, we can activate and then transform our economy. What is tourism? Commercial organization and operation of holidays and visits to places of interest. That is tourism. So today, you look at Kogi State. The geographical configuration of our state, it's second to none in this country. And I dare say in Africa. The geographical configuration of Kogi State. The only state that has got the confluence. The confluence today is yielding us 0 naira. We have Mount Patti that is about 1,500 feet above sea level. Fantastic view, fantastic topography, yielding us 0 naira. We have the Obangogo hills with caves, with spring water. The spring water in Obangogo alone is enough to create thousands of jobs for us. But I'll come there later. Yielding us 0 naira. We have Powu Cave in Ogidi. We have Ome Dam. Amazing views. We have Usikoko Cave in Kotokarafi. We have the Eton Bridge in Olamaboro. And several other, at least 2 waterfalls in the east, and a lot of cultural festivals, both in the east, central, and the west. Now, these are areas of tourism. At least we have about 100 tourist locations in Kogi State. All of this yielding us nothing as we speak. Don't forget, commercial organization and operation of holidays and visits to places of interest. And we have several monuments.
Are you sure that this will put money into cycle?
Now let me tell you how. We have a goal to achieve 2 million visitors into Kogi State annually in the next 3 to 4 years. Because we're going to develop all of this, okay, for people to come in. Because that's tourism. When you go to Saudi, you go to Mecca, when you go to Jerusalem, when you go to Dubai, what are you doing? You pack all your monies, put all your monies together, you go there, you spend everything there. You pay for hotels, you pay for taxis, you do shopping, you eat, you will drink.
So how far have you communicated all this to your people? Allow you to continue. I think
okay, that's what we're doing right now. Yes. That's what we're doing right now. So when you have 2 million visitors visit our state annually, let me tell you the implication. If they spend 100,000 naira while in Kogi State, multiply by 2 million, that's 200 billion naira cash inflow into our economy. If each of the visitors spend an average of 5 nights in Kogi State, 5 nights multiplied by 2 million people, That will be 10 million nights of hotels and short-let apartment sales in a year. At an average of 100,000 naira per night, multiplied by 10 million sales, 10 million nights, that will be 1 trillion naira cash inflow into our economy. Is something wrong with us? Now, all over the world, for most part of the world, at least a couple of countries, they charge as high as 20% as hotel sales tax. The tourists will pay it.
Okay,
now 20% of that, of 1 trillion, that will be 200 billion naira in IGR for the government. Our IGR last year was 18 billion naira. Our projected IGR for this year is 24 billion. I'm telling you that in the next 3 to 4 years, with us developing our tourism sector.
So what's your target for the IGR in total? Before, maybe after 4 years that you'll be leaving? After 4 years, you will be leaving.
After 4 years, we are looking at an IGR, hitting an IGR of about 500 billion naira annually in Kogi State. And that's why I'm giving you the breakdown. That because on hotels alone, on tourism, by driving in traffic into the state for tourism, the amount of money we will generate. Because if you're getting IGR of 200 billion on just hotel sales alone, now what about the value chain? Don't forget, when you're developing your agriculture, okay, effective land management, you're developing your tourism sector, your solid minerals sector, and the trade, on all of this value chain, you are generating money.
Okay, now let's talk about your party structure. Do you see your party winning the next election?
I'm not only saying it. I'm assured of it. I'm confident of that.
You're just coming in.
Are you holding the election tomorrow?
This is your first time.
Are you holding
Kogi politics?
Is the election holding tomorrow?
Okay, tell us how far you've gone and what is your assurance of winning that?
I'm going to talk about the party, but if you can just oblige me to complete our wealth creation and wealth distribution. Now, because wealth creation and wealth distribution, driving in cash flow, we analyze it, multiply by at an average of 500 naira per person in Kogi. It means that every day we spend 2.2 billion naira on food and 66 billion naira every month. And if we target, we are bordered by 10 states.
Yes.
And we have a combined population with those states of about 56 million people, which is about a quarter of Nigeria's population, connected by about 1,172 thereabout kilometers of federal roads. And our people are poor. And they say where people are, their business is, isn't it? So when you analyze that, right, and you say, okay, if we target 20% of the market share of the states that are around us, plus ours, it means that we'll be feeding 15 million people daily from our agricultural produce alone from Kogi State. At average of 500 naira, that's 7.5 billion naira every day. And 750 billion naira every 100 days of money made, money saved. Because when you have wealth creation as your goal, it means your set objectives will be make money, save money, and then grow the economy. That will be the level of activities of the government. Because for the government, you must make the people happy. Before somebody will talk about, security, our start agenda is a security agenda.
Yes, I know if I will continue to allow you talk, you'll keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. I think it's good. We go on break now. Camera is still tilting to Kogi State. And expectation and what is in the airwave is who is going to be the next governor of Kogi State. And that is what we are discussing on Ura TV, your blissful online TV. I'll be right back after this timeout.
Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. This is Ura TV, and of course, I am your lady, Judith. Peters. I'm here to talk about Selling Point because it's a new program on Ura TV where we get to bring you out there and let the whole world know about what you sell. Yes, when you hear Selling Point, I know it will be coming through your mind like you'll be wondering, what are they talking about? Selling Point is a way of identifying you, putting you out there with your product, your business, your services. This is all we do. Your goods and services has to be there because we want you to grow, and also you help us grow. And I'll be your guide here in the studio on Ura TV English. You go follow us on all social media platforms, our Instagram, our Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also contact us on this number showing on your screen right now.
Welcome back. I'm excited. I'm happy that you're still there watching. You know, the discussion is getting more interesting, especially you telling us what you'll be able to do differently. So, you know, it's good you assure us that, like you told me, that you're very sure that your party will win. So it's still like illusion to people. How possible, you know, where you have PDP, APC, and SDP that some people are calling maybe the third force, or you have the accord of Admiral Usman Jibril, and Idokolona is one of the intelligent advertisement experts in Nigeria, vying for same position like you. So how do you see your party winning this election, AA, in Kogi State?
All right. We've been engaging through town hall meetings. In the last week, at least in 5 days, we had over 20 town hall meetings.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we engaging the electorates directly. You know, so we're building up. And with our build up, we'll soon cover the entire state. You know, we are right in your neighborhood and you don't even know it yet. But when we come in now, you get to know. We are somewhere around your neighborhood.
So where do you think is in my neighborhood? You know?
We are right in your neighborhood.
So
you don't know it yet.
You are talking to the audience now.
Yes, I know.
Whoever is watching this program,
yeah, we are in your neighborhood. We are in your neighborhood.
So if they are not aware of you, others are aware. It's just that person that is not aware.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know before, now you're knowing.
So what's the party structure like?
Yeah, we have our party structure in every ward across the 239 wards of the state. You know, and we've been working hard, you know, gradually doing a gradual build-up. It's a gradual build-up, you know. So the build-up is ongoing, you know, because we're selling the vision. What we're doing is to ensure that people hear us. We engage with the electorate, allow people to ask us questions about the vision, our vision for the state. So it's not a case of just flash an ad and then you don't even get to have opportunity to ask questions. And I want electorate to ask questions from those that want to lead you. Everybody should give room for electorates to ask them questions. So that's what we're doing. So if we're yet to knock on your door, be sure that very soon we'll be knocking on your door. Okay. So the structure of our party, Action Alliance, AA, and the model of our movement is quite different from what people are used to.
So there's an agitation ongoing that the next governor should come from the zone, the zone and the 3 zone, the Centurial district. So which of the zone are you advocating from? You're the zone where you come from. And do you think that you are in any way being sidelined before now?
I'll tell you what. I'm advocating for just one zone. That's the zone of the poor people.
So you're from the zone of the poor people?
Yes.
Tell me more about the zone of the poor people, because if I bought a vehicle from here or I bought a flight here, take me to the zone of the poor people. I don't know my destination.
All right, I'll tell you. Everywhere in Kogi State is your destination. The moment you get into Kogi State, that's your destination. Our people are poor. We have a bigger problem on our hands. And people are talking about ethnicity. They're talking about religion. And we have a bigger problem on our hands. The East have had it for about 19 years. Central is having it currently, going to 8 years. The West have not had it. But for me, like I keep saying,
You're from the West.
I'm from the West. But we have a bigger problem in our hands. Poverty is the bigger problem. Nobody's talking about it. And we're talking about ethnicity, we're talking about religion, and our people are poor. Ethnicity and religion has not taken poverty out of our land. Are people not poor in the Gala land? Are people not poor in the Central? Are people not poor in the West? All over the state. There's no community you get to today in Kogi State that you don't see people that are poor. A lot of graduates doing nothing. And everybody seems to be comfortable with that. It's like a case of a people in a pit. Instead of finding a way out, they will keep digging the pit further down. Okay? Will that bring you out when you are in a pit and you are digging deeper? Dividing the people with ethnicity, dividing the people with religion. Will that bring us out of the pit? I just feel, don't we even think we need to be more serious about the situation in our state, that our people are poor? Federal allocation alone cannot bring wealth to our people, and we keep talking about ethnicity. I represent only one power shift. That is from poverty to prosperity. And that's why I said that's what I represent. And that's what I'm advocating for. That's the only power shift. And that's why I said I am rooting for the poor zone. The poor people's zone. And they're the everyday people in our state.
So how is the acceptance with the poor people, like you're saying, during the town hall meeting or the process of having a council with them one-on-one? How has been the acceptance?
We are having this conversation, and a lot of people are keen into the fact that our wealth creation agenda, our wealth creation and wealth distribution plan, and the conversation has to be ongoing continuously. Because our people's mind have been so decimated because of poverty. I'm sure in your neighborhood, you see a lot of bright people, graduates, not doing anything. And they're losing it every day. We are losing value. Our human capital, investment in human capital. Our people are accepting it because that's why we're doing town hall meetings, to engage them. A lot of people have lost hope in the possibility, opportunity of even making money in their lives. We need to help engage our people's mind, to give them the hope and say it is possible. Everybody can be rich in Kogi State. We have what it takes from where we are today, going forward, forgetting about everything that is behind us. Forget about everything behind. We have what it takes from where we are today to create prosperity for our people, to put monies in our people's pocket, teach them how to make money, create the enabling environment for them to make money. There's a huge market out there. Due to globalization, there's a huge market for us to take products out for money to come into our state. We can run an economy that is independent of Nigeria's economy. Regardless of whatever federal allocation is sent to us, we can generate our money and cause our people to be prosperous. But we have to engage our people's mind because they've lost hope. And that's why they don't even believe in themselves again. And we are there talking about ethnicity, talking about which tribe, which zone, talking about, are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Are you a traditionalist? And all of those other things that don't put food on our table. We've been talking about it for about 32 years. And our people are still
the first 100 days in the office. Tell us in maybe in 15 seconds what will happen. First 100 days in office.
First thing is to guarantee people, everybody working, that they will get their full salaries. Which is a major thing for people to be able to, you're working and you're able to put food on your table. And it's critical. And to be able to ensure that we set the state on the path of prosperity, because laying the foundation, it's a whole lot of work. We want to be able to lay that foundation for a prosperous state in the first 100 days. And that foundation is by way of policies that we'll put in place to be able to get our people out of poverty. That's why I say I am on an assignment, and that assignment is just one assignment. And the assignment is wealth creation for our people. The people must see the sign that that assignment is to be able to create wealth for them in the first 100 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's almost time to go.
Yeah, we are not talking about security.
There's one point that everybody always talk about, the emphasis at present, that is a season where people canvass around, and in 2-3 occasions that maybe some of the candidates cannot even access the states. Maybe it's because of insecurity. So what do you have to say about that?
Okay, if you look at Kogi State, yes, in every election cycle, there's always violence, right?
You know why? Why is your state like that?
Why is my state like that?
Your state, yeah.
I will tell you, it's because of poverty.
Oh, so poor people fight?
Poverty.
Poor people shoot?
I'll tell you.
Poor people kill?
Let me tell you.
No.
Let me tell you. Poverty breeds insecurity and violence. Poverty breeds insecurity and it breeds violence. Case study. UAE, Saudi, Qatar, then Yemen, Afghanistan.
They are the poor nations that.
No, just do the comparison. Look at it. The prosperous nations, do we hear of those kind of violence there?
Not at all.
And then the poor nations, where do you hear those violence? Let me bring it home. When there are violence during an election, in Lagos, for instance, do you hear of violence in Ikoyi? VI, VGC axis. What part of Lagos do we experience violence? Where you have more poor people. When people are busy making money, nobody will be available to be recruited for violence. That's the point. When people are busy making money, nobody will want to risk their lives on violence. So there's a nexus between prosperity and security. When people are prosperous, the people will be secured because they won't have people to recruit for violence. That is my point.
So now that you make people rich,
yes,
now that there will not be any single poor person in Kogi State again.
Yes. Now, except those that have resigned, they've lost hope, and they have covenant with poverty.
And now that you emerged and you bring your state bold on the map of the rich nations or rich states.
Correct.
I want to say congratulations and I wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you. Thank you. You know, I always say coming together is the beginning, working together is progress. You know, it's time to go. And I want to say, keep watching Ura TV, your #1 blissful online television. Bye-bye.
Ura TV.